Hey everyone, welcome to All About the Joy. This is Culture and Consequence with Carmen and Andrea. Hey, what's up, Andrea?
Hey.
I see we both just got out of the shower.
Yeah. Certified fresh.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I think this is going to be harder than I thought because I realize like we don't always talk all the time and definitely not always about politics. And so now, since that's our focus, there's a part of me that's like depressed every time I come on now.
I know. We need to have our like phone
Girl time talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm upset right now because of a lot of things, but mostly, and I know you're going to be surprised because I didn't say this, but the education system in our country is so bad. It has failed us, and that's not to take away responsibility from other people, but so Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl. That's been the big hot topic. We're going to get to the government shutdown in a moment, but I just want to vent about what's going on there.
I got like a hair in my eyelash, and I'm like,
okay. Do you want me to pause? No. Did you get it? I'm going to make that a clip with no sound. But so many people, I mean, there's like the bad part of social media, which I know you hate, right? We all hate, but then there's the good part. So of course there were so many people who were like, he's a foreigner. I just don't know. The Super Bowl is American. And I was like, wow, like that's basic information if you don't know. But you know what? Before we get into Puerto Rico, that it's part of the United States, right? Were we screaming this loud when Bono performed at the Super Bowl? Or what's the guy, McCarthy, the guy from the Beatles, Paul McCartney? Or we can go down the list.
I just feel like, number one, I literally could not give a shit who was performing at the Super Bowl. Like, it's just not
I do.
Like, to make it into some whole thing is, I think, a little bit crazy. But also, I think that the whining and the crying and the bitching and the moaning is indicative of not actually understanding what the United States is right now. Again, going back to, we need to understand reality. And that is not even about Puerto Rico being, Puerto Ricans being American. That is about the fact that there are a lot of people in this country who speak Spanish, who love Bad Bunny, who are completely into this, and a lot of them are football fans. So they're playing to their base. Like, what are you worried about?
Yeah, I just also, it's, and again, I agree with you. Like, football is not the most important thing on the planet, but it's more about what it shows us to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I will say this, I'm going to defend some people. It was great to see some people on TikTok. So there was like this older white guy with like the mustache and the long beard or whatever. And he's like, oh, what the hell is this Super Bowl? Like, he was doing that whole gruffy thing or whatever. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to listen to one stupid song. Let me hear it, whatever. And he was just totally like, you would think stereotypical white guy, farmer, whatever. And he starts like dancing and he's like, oh, I could do this. It was so funny. I was like,
yeah, like, just,
it was so cool,
that's
that was
part of the thing is like, could you just shut up and calm down long enough to maybe even see if you might enjoy it on a human level? Like, could you bop a little bit? Maybe I don't know.
Just be open-minded to the possibility that you might like something, you know what I mean? And then there was this other TikTok where people were saying like, I'm not going to understand anything he says. And they started like playing songs of white artists and like, it was like, this is so funny, but it's not, but it is. Like, anyways.
Yeah, I hear you. It's just
I know. I just wanted to vent about that. I'm excited to see Bad Bunny, if only because culturally it's going to do something for this country to understand some history, some geography, and hopefully enjoy a little bit of Latin music, you know?
Yeah. Will I watch? Yes.
Yes.
Do I care? Not really.
I care. I just want to say it again. I care. I totally care.
Yeah.
These little moments matter to me. Okay. So why don't we talk about the government shutdown? Because I don't think people understand why, if the Republicans are in charge of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, why we're in a government shutdown.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I did not do any research for this show today, so I'm just.
Well, I mean, this one's. I mean, I know this one. I'm not testing you. I was just letting you speak.
I mean, look. Here's my answer. The Republicans love to shut down the government. This is their thing. They love it. They love it.
Right. That is their thing. Let me just tell people technically what's happening here. So yes, the Senate, okay, you need to have 60 votes. It's called a supermajority. So a simple majority would be like if you just had 51 votes, right? That would be a simple majority. But when it comes to this part of the whole thing majiggy, what happens is you have to have a supermajority, which means you have to have 60 votes in order for it to pass. The Republicans only have 53 votes. That means they have to they have to negotiate. They have to have a conversation with Democrats and bring over 7 of those votes in order for it to pass. The reason why we're in this flux at the moment is because, and you're going to love this, child, because I love this conversation. But technically what's happening is Democrats are saying we are not willing to give up the Affordable Care Act, the provisions in the Affordable Care Act, which is always conveniently named Obamacare, which Obama has embraced and he's okay with it. But the Republicans use it as a way to be dismissive of it or whatever. And the Republicans are saying, no, we want a clean bill. We just want it, now they want a clean bill. They want a clean bill because what they want to do is actually get rid of Obamacare little by little, because they have voted so many times to try to get rid of it. If you remember, John McCain voted not to get rid of it, and that was like a big deal. But they've tried over and over again. And this is where I'm going to hand it over to you. I think the real big reason is because Donald Trump is a tiny little man who hates President Obama, and this is Obama's signature legislation. And so he wants it to be gutted in whatever way, shape, or form they can. That's what I think.
Well, yes, I think that there's a number of things going on, right? And I truly do believe that they love to shut down the government, right? I think that they
Right.
enjoy that, and government's not working anyway, just shut it all down. And it gives him an opportunity to fire people, furlough people, get rid, do all kinds of things. Right. And I think that there is a sense of with Congress not there, I have some freedom to do whatever I want. Right. Which he sort of already has anyway. So I don't really know what the big deal is there, but yes, I agree. It's at least a little bit, if not a lot bit, about it being Obamacare, and we can't let this person have this win continually over and over through the years and decades and whatever. But they hated it from the beginning, right?
They've always hated it.
They've been trying, like you said, over and over and over again to do different things to reduce its effectiveness. And, reduce the ability to get on, reduce the affordability, all of those things, and some of which they've achieved, right? And this happens to be what they're trying to do now is a pretty big one. I'm sure you know that, right? You have ACA. So
I do have ACA, and I feel like we should explain what ACA is. Well, I'll explain it because I do use it, and I always use it. So I'm in my 50s, I'm single, and I have what I call catastrophic medical care, which means every time I go to the doctors, if I go to the doctors once, the preventative care thing, that's covered. But if I go for anything else, I have to pay a co-payment and probably a certain portion of it. I call it catastrophic healthcare because it's the lowest that I can afford through the ACA. And I know that if God forbid something were to happen to me, at least I could go to I can go to the ER or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if I had to, and I might be able to afford to pay some of it or whatever. So I paid $578 every month for that care, right? For that health insurance. And that is through Blue Shield. And it's a PPO. So a PPO just means that I can pick my own doctors in that group. Okay. If I didn't have the ACA, it would be $1,300 a month. So the ACA, just me, yeah. One person. And everybody who watches thinks I'm extremely wealthy because I'm not bougie. I'm not, I just don't have children. But so that's one person. And that is, because I have a small business. And so I don't personally get a subsidy. The insurance companies get a subsidy to pay that. So the government gives them that other half of money. So I only have to pay this amount of money. Now, I want to give people a little understanding. $88 billion is spent every year on the ACA to help subsidize Americans so that they can afford health care. That's a lot of money. It is. That's a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. The government subsidizes $400 billion to the oil companies. Just thought I would share that for you.
Let's just throw that out there.
Right. So the oil companies who make tons of profit get $400 billion in subsidies and tax credits so that they can, right? We supposedly we're investing in the oil industry so that they can do what they need to do to make their money and help our economy grow. Well, why is it so hard to want to invest in me as an American or you as an American so that you can be healthy and prosperous and you can help the economy grow? That's about as simplistic as I can say it.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
that's what the senators are fighting for right now.
That's what
the
they're
Democrats are fighting for right now.
Should there be subsidies? Like, should someone like Carmen pay $1,300 a month to her insurance company? Or again, and I think this is a key point, should the insurance company get that subsidy? This is not going in Carmen's pocket.
It's not. No.
Okay.
No.
So Carmen can flow it through the economy.
Be more bougie.
Right. To stay at her nice hotels and whatever, right? Like, this is going to the insurance companies.
Right.
Companies that we all love, companies that serve us all so well, companies that have our best interest at heart.
They do not.
Companies that definitely are not driving up the cost of healthcare themselves.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other part of it. I mean, the real big issue is how janky our health insurance situation is in this country and how bad it is that they even have to give subsidies, but that's a whole other conversation about universal health care and whatever and blah, blah. But if we're just going to keep it in the whole capitalistic thing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just confused why Americans that don't believe what we believe, which is that healthcare is a right and investing in Americans is more important to me than investing in corporations, especially the oil industry. I guess we're never going to get sponsored by the oil industry, who makes billions and billions of dollars. And when they make billions and billions of dollars, they really don't share it with us. What they do is they share it with their shareholders. So, and look at, I'm not against capitalism. I am against us not taking care of our people and then telling the lies over and over and over again so that we keep thinking they're doing us some favor.
Right. This is socialism.
So it's not socialism.
Well, and even if it is,
it's my tax dollars.
Who is getting the subsidies? Who is really getting socialism? The oil companies
and the insurance
companies. The insurance companies. I mean, we already live in socialism. It's just a matter of who do you want those tax dollars to actually go to? Does it benefit us truly as a country, as a people on the planet to give that money to the oil companies versus giving it to people and doing something that helps people live longer, have better, healthier lives? I don't know.
But it's so weird because I was watching. That's why I got into a bad mood. I was watching this morning the news just to get, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have been watching it. Well, no, because and there is a Republican on there who was just straight up lying. And it's like, and here's the thing, he's not lying. What he's doing is creating the narrative so that it fits into a box so that more Americans can believe what he believes. So he was saying, like, during COVID, the Democrats put more things in place for Obamacare. Of course we did. Of course we did, to help people during this horrible situation that was happening. Right. And then he's like, and all we're doing is saying we don't want that part of it in anymore. It was just supposed to be temporary. And it's like, okay, dude, that may be technically true, but it doesn't change the fact that what you're trying to do right now is gut the whole ACA, aka Obamacare, because you don't want to help Americans in this way. You want everyone to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, even while you're gouging them every day, everywhere, with price increases. Anyway, don't get me started. Like, I'm gonna get mad. Like, she on my side though. She on my side. I know. I'm getting on my tirade, but yeah. So, well, I hope that helps explain at least that part. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just disappointed because the government shutdown, if it doesn't get fixed quickly, is going to affect all of us pretty quickly. In the next 3 to 4 days, probably we'll start to feel it. But I don't think the Democrats are going to back down. And which Democrat is going to say yes?
Right? What's that?
Right? Like I said, which Democrat is going to say yes? Let me vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I hope they're not going to back down. I don't have a ton of faith in the Democratic leadership right now, but I feel like that would be a really poor choice to make, to not.
I guess I don't understand why Republicans, and I know you have a loathing feeling about Republicans, but I am stressed that I don't understand where all the good Republicans went to. Why are they cowering to this bullshittery of the Trump administration? I don't know why it's happening. Please explain, Andrea.
I can't, but and I'll try to refrain from being super negative, but I think probably the good Republicans are independents now.
You're right. They're like, they're people who used to be in the Republican Party are now independents, like people like Nicole Wallace, who ran Bush's, administration or whatever. Now she's on MSNBC and hates the Republican Party, Okay, what's that face? I was just coming up with a person who is a Republican.
I just, whatever. I'm not a very forgiving person. I'm not a very forgiving person. So, these are the people.
You don't forgive her for Sarah. Don't forgive her for Sarah Palin.
No, I can't. I won't. I'm not gonna. And I know she does a lot of, decent work right now, but
she's on our side. You have to let it go. Should we talk about this? What's your angst?
My angst.
No, but I mean, like, why? I mean, it wasn't only her decision.
No, it wasn't. But yeah,
anybody who worked for the Bush administration, you're done.
Kind of, yeah. Look, it's a me thing. I do need to be better about being forgiving.
No, you don't.
You know what I mean? And I think, what I was going to say is, like, in order for me to let it go, I would have to see, like, real work in the other direction, like a real.
I think she does. I think she has paid attendance.
That's why I was going to say it, right? Like, I'd have to see, like, real, what's the word? Like, conciliatory, right? And you don't really see that a lot from a lot of the men.
Never.
I think that she has, and that's, I'll accept that. And I have watched her in the past, and whatever. And she has some good people on her show, but, I'm always going to have a little like,
I really like her. I've learned I think there are very few people I watch on network television anymore. And she's one of the people that I actually record and I'll listen to her. I've always liked her, but again, I've always been a conservative Democrat, so I never hated her. I also had my issues with anyone during the Bush administration, but like we said a couple of episodes ago, we'd give anything to have that back. So I don't know. I hear you, but yeah, I just don't know. I think you're right. All of those Republicans have moved on and they've either come to the Democratic side. I think there's a guy, I forget his name, but he's a Democrat in Florida, a congressman in Florida, but he used to be a Republican and a staunch Republican at that. So I forget his name. But yeah, I don't understand the hold that the Republican Party has with Donald Trump when they can see so clearly what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other part of this that is painful for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, it's racism, but also, like, I think
That's Andrea's line for everything.
You know what I mean? But also, I think as long as we talked about this last time, like, as long as they're close to power and they're not significantly touched by it in any way, okay, whatever.
Okay, I'd be okay with, but here's the thing. That would make more sense to me if they weren't working for the people. Like, we voted you in, and so you're supposed to be working for the people. And here's what I think needs to change. If we're going to be shutting down the government and people are not getting paid and they're being furloughed and people are losing their jobs, then you know who else shouldn't be getting paid? Nobody in the Congress.
Right.
Nobody else they shouldn't have health care. They shouldn't have their salaries while they're trying to negotiate all this crapola, because it isn't affecting them.
Shouldn't have his planes and his cars. Like, you sit your ass down there and you don't go anywhere until you fix this.
I just don't understand. Like, and that goes across all of the shutdowns that we've lived through. You know what I mean? Like, but I just want everyone to understand that when there's a shutdown and it affects all of us regular people, it's not affecting people in Congress. Right. Who are taking their sweet time, trying to come up with a plan to serve you, the American people.
They also have some pretty seriously good healthcare, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. They have the creme de la creme of healthcare. Yeah. Like, if any of you know a congressperson, which I know one congressperson, they have the best healthcare. Why don't we get that? Why do we not get that? Yeah, pensions and everything. That's why I would run. Like, you work for 4 years and all of a sudden you're set for life. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's not a bad gig. But
okay, here's the next question that I asked you. Mm-hmm. Do you think Donald Trump will run for a third office? Do you think there'll be an election? I guess is the better question.
Okay, so before I answer that,
let's be clear that you cannot.
Yes, I was going to say, legally, which we know nothing matters anymore, but legally, the 22nd Amendment passed in 1951, so over 70 years ago, says the president can only have 2 terms. And in order to change that, you need 3/4 of the Senate, 3/4 of the House, and then it goes out to the states, and you need 3/4 of the states to all agree that this needs to be changed. So politically,
so really hard, right?
Politically, there's no real legal route for him to do that.
Right.
That said, I think that man intends to stay in the White House until we drag him out.
Well, he had those hats on the desk that said Trump 2028. Can I just tell you, I just laughed a little bit. I giggled because I'm baby, try it. Because Barack Obama will be elected in a landslide and you'll be so sad. I swear to God, that's all I keep thinking about. I'm like, I will move. I will sell all my shit.
That's the thing. Like, he can't do it via election. Right. So let your imagination run wild. What are the other ways he might do it? None of them are good. None of them are going to make you happy. But I truly believe, like, we will literally have to, like, scrape his fingernails off the floor of the White House to get him out of there.
So it's either a coup, which is not really our thing. Although January 6th, I don't know. But then it would also be this weird manipulation where people have talked about if what's the vice president's name? That numbnut, I can't stand him either.
Vance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. So they would elect Vance, which I don't even imagine that Republicans would elect Vance. But again, and then somehow he would step down and allow Trump. Like, there's all these weird conspiracy theories. None of them are valid or okay. It doesn't mean that he's not going to try to have us not have an election. That's the scarier part. or
Yeah, I
steal the
mean, I
election.
think we need to be mentally, spiritually, physically, financially prepared for
Right.
any kind of crazy shit because it's coming our way.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the redistricting? Are you voting yes, or are you on Arnold Schwarzenegger's side?
I'm voting yes. They sent
Wait,
out.
for people who don't know, she would never vote like any way that a Republican would. So that was like a joke.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't feel good about it. I'm just gonna say it. I don't feel good about it. And
So the redistricting that's happening in California is because Gavin Newsom has put on the ballot for this November for Californians to change our redistricting so that we can nullify Texas is giving Trump 5 seats, like, because they didn't even have an election. They just did it on their own. So go ahead, Andrea.
Yeah,
Right? I said that right.
Yeah. It essentially eliminates 5 Republican-held districts, I believe, in California. I just read the thing this morning. So they sent the things, like, we always get these big,
pamphlets and whatever.
Pamphlets that give you all of the information, and it's, you have to get like a master's degree in reading
to read it. Yep.
This time there's only one, so thank goodness. But I started to read it this morning, and of course the maps are whatever they are, and I'm like, I can't tell if my district is changing or not.
Is your district? Mine isn't.
It's not. Yeah. I don't think. Well, I think it is, like, slightly, but where I am, I would be with the same person who we elected, a Democrat.
Right.
A very, very, very centrist Democrat, but a Democrat nonetheless. So yeah, I mean, we talked about this before. Like, in California, we have an independent commission. We voted for that many years ago. It's been, we've been using it. It's, I read this morning that it was a model for the nation, and et cetera, et cetera. So I do not feel good about saying, let's put that aside and let's essentially gerrymander. I don't love that. However, what have we all been saying really since 2016, but certainly since January? Do something.
Yeah.
So I can't, I'm not going to be like, yeah, but not that.
Right. Not this thing. Right. We do have to be fierce. Yeah.
Yeah. We have to fight the fight we're in.
Yeah. It is a model for the rest of the nation. The rest of the nation does not do it.
No.
So, but it should be independent people who go in and make a decision on how your state should be district after the census. And that's the big deal, is that
based on population.
It's always after the census. And now we're like midway through or whatever. And because it's every 10 years we do a census, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so look I have no problem at all. I'm tired of feeling like we're just being railroaded all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for the fight.
Yeah. And I read the article this morning because I was trying to figure it out, like, all right, well, what is actually happening here? What's going to go away? And, I will be thrilled to see some of these folks ride off into the sunset down to K Street and make their gajillions being lobbyists. Like, just,
just go. Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This is just for now. Then it goes back to the independent council. So this is
like 3 cycles. I think it's like 2030 or something like that. Right. It goes back to what it was.
And this is for the fight. And look at Californians are voting on it. So I feel like if we don't want to fight, we won't, but we gonna fight. We gonna vote yes.
Yeah.
And we vote yes because Arnold is voting no. So you do the opposite of Arnold. So this is just for California.
Listening to Arnold these days? Like,
I'm sorry?
I said, is anyone listening to Arnold these days?
You know what? He was doing okay being like an elder statesman. You know what I mean? Like, and he was actually saying some things that made sense at one point regarding surface issues. You know what I mean? Like fitness or whatever, or healthcare or whatever. Like he does have, like, he leans heavily Republican on fiscal things, but he's really kind of liberal and social on social issues. You know what I mean? okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot I'm talking to Andrea.
Yes.
Center, right. Center, right. I'm just saying on some social issues, he's okay. But on this, because people don't understand, he helped create it.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like all befuddled about it. It's like, dude, it's not about you. It's not about you. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and that's another, sort of brain disease. Like, get it out of your head, man. Everything is not about you.
And that's what I think our problem is with Donald Trump. It really is all about him. He can't. I mean, did you see the speech he did at the military?
No, I did not see it. But
I was like this.
I will read about these things. I do not watch or listen or anything like that. And I honestly, that's the thing that, as hot as you just were about the shutdown and ACA and all of that, that just got me into a tailspin for days. I was like, oh my God. The president of the United States just declared war on the American people. And everyone's like, Trump being Trump. Oh my God, did you see how they were all just sitting there stone-faced? I'm like, they should be pulling out their fucking guns. This is not okay.
Yeah, no, I think, so before that was Pete seriously, I just want to, Pete, what the fuck? You have no business. This is just for you. You have no business talking to any of these military people at all. Baby. The chutzpah. Is that what it's called? Chutzpah? Yeah. The audacity that you think you have the right to talk to these people about anything, let alone fitness. Oh my God.
Well, it's
embarrassing,
hey, Andrea. We're going to do war crimes now. Hey, guess what? You can sexually assault anyone you want. Oh, and by the way, stop being fat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's my favorite. Yeah. He was just, it was embarrassing. And I just feel that white men, that's the epitome of pathetic white men. That's what we're talking about when we're angry with white men who don't get it. I'm sorry. Oh my God, we're not going to have any listeners at all. It's okay, because I would have said this to you on the phone. But that's exactly it. Somebody who thinks they are entitled enough to talk to the years of experience that was in that room. And you were a talk show host.
Dedication,
and not even a good one.
Sacrifice. I mean, look, I'm no military apologist, but the people in that room have given their lives to this country, have served in combat, have been shot at, have, had to go and tell families that their loved one has died. You know what I mean? They've strategized and all kinds of things, and done a lot of things that I do not agree with for sure. Mm-hmm. But how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
In your small little bullshit, get up there and try to tell them what's what. No.
I mean, this is the thing that we as women don't have. This fucking chutzpah bullshittery. We're I don't know anything about what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to get up and say something anyways. You know what I mean?
I'm just going to spout off.
And then Donald Trump, I just think, it was embarrassing. I did watch it because it was like the car crash you couldn't not watch. And I think he was shook by a lot of things. But then he went off on tangents and he has no ability to stop himself.
Right.
He can't, I don't know how to explain it.
It's like when you start talking to someone in the grocery store and you're trying to be like, I got to go get my apples now. And they're just still going and you're trying to be polite and you're like, okay, oh my God, yeah, that's crazy, girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's it too. But I feel, I know you're going to be like, I'm crazy, but I also feel bad for him because you can see so badly he wants respect. He wants to be revered. He wants to be loved and adored. Yeah. He does. And you have to think a man, what is he, 78, 79 years old? And he's still craving this thing and he still hasn't figured out how to get it.
His wounds are so wide out in the open for anyone to see. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious, Psych 101. Like, you could literally take your high school psychology class and be like, I know exactly what's wrong with that motherfucker.
I know.
And you'd be right. You'd be totally right.
I felt bad for him. It's the first time. I know you want to hit me. I know. Look at your face. You're like, whatever. Because it's never going to happen for him. It's never what he wants. It's never going to happen. It's what he always wanted in the past too. He always wanted to be part of the celebrity culture, right? He always wanted to be part of like being famous and da 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 da. And it's like
literally going to piss and throw shit on his grave, and I'll be right there first in line.
Oh my God. I will not.
I will. 100%.
I will not.
Take a bag of my chicken shit and pour it right on top of his grave. I will.
Okay, now you guys are hearing the real conversation.
This is true.
Although I don't think we're shying away in any other way, but I just feel bad for him. It's watching him.
I feel bad for us. That's who I feel bad for.
I feel bad for us too. I can do two things at one time.
Yeah,
I feel bad for us. But here's the difference.
I don't feel bad for people who choose to not improve themselves, who choose to not work on their shit. I
know. And I'll go even further. I'm angry with him because he's used so many ways to hurt other people for his own bullshittery. But see, I'm not going to waste my time on Donald Trump because Donald Trump, he has issues. He would not be where he is today, Andrea, if it isn't for all the motherfucking enablers around him who know better.
Yeah.
So when you say, oh, because the proximity to power, what the fuck? You know better than this.
I know.
Not you. I mean, them. They know better than this. This man is not.
They're just as bad.
To me, they're worse. Because I think he's absolutely clueless. I think and I know people can be like, no, he's playing chess. Bitch, please.
He is not playing chess.
He's not playing chess. He ain't even playing. What's the game with the spots? Remember? You used to put your leg on.
Twister.
He ain't even playing Twister because that was an easy game, right?
Yeah, Candyland, Shoots and Ladders. Yeah, no,
he's not playing any game.
Tic-tac-toe, people. Like, he's just like, what?
He actually told the military people, I don't know if you saw this part, but he was like, wow, I've never walked into a room that's so quiet. You can clap if you want. I was like, oh my God, stop. They're not gonna. They're the military. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. You don't feel bad for him. I know. Yeah. Are you really that mean, though? You wouldn't really go stomp on that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolute piece of shit. I will truly dump shit on that man's grave. Truly. 100%.
You're going to go to Florida to do that? Because I think that's where he's going to be.
Okay, well, probably not. But if I happen to ever be there, I will make a special trip on his grave.
So I have a beautiful brother from another mother who lives in Florida, and I love him to death, but I cannot go back there again. I can't. I've always not been a fan of Florida, but I really can't go there now. But so I'm going to end with this, unless you have anything else you want to add. So I really want to implore people. I don't think you've seen this, but please watch the show, The West Wing, 4 seasons, the first 4 seasons by Aaron Sorkin. If you really want to learn about how our government works, there's a lot of political shows out there, I know, but The West Wing is the gold standard because they teach you about bills and Congress and the Senate and the presidency or whatever. And I know that everyone's like, oh, it's so liberal. It's not about the liberal. It's about the relationships of people. You know what I mean? And actually, we end up having a lot of Republicans on the show. Ainsley Hayes is one of my favorite characters, and she's a Republican on the show, and she's amazing. But I want to explain to people that if you want to learn about how politics works, that's the easiest way to learn it. And it's a really good show. And I just want to tell you who's on it because that might, I'm not getting paid at all by nothing, but I'm not. No, I'm kidding. Rob Lowe, Allison Janney, Martin Sheehan, Bradley Whitford, Dule Hill, Joshua Molina, Elizabeth Moss, who everyone knows from Handmaid's Tales and whatever, I guess, Mad Men. These are the people that are in this show, and they are the stars of the show, and it's really good. And if you want to know how I learned most about politics, That's how I got the solidification of understanding how things work. And it's really not about the liberal or conservative part of this. It's about the structure of how our government works. So anyways, I can hear something in the background.
Yeah, that's the gardener.
Really? We have a gardener, do we? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, everyone. I had to mention it because I'm not going to be able to get that out.
No, I was going to mute myself, but I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So anyways, Andrea, thank you as always. And everyone, we have our Friday night shows at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, where everyone can come and hang out. So I hope you'll come and join us. And remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. It really is. So
Really? You got to find it somewhere, girl.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.